Pak Doni, kita mulai sebentar lagi ya, nunggu Pak Ketum join nih, dia lagi join.
Oke, insya Allah.
Kita udah live di YouTube.
Oh, oke, alhamdulillah. Gimana kabarnya?
Baik, alhamdulillah. Sebentar, saya telepon Pak Ketum dulu.
Teman-teman yang lain apa kabar? Silakan di chat disampaikan dari mana asalnya, asal daerahnya. Selamat datang di acara TikTok.
Prof. Ali sudah hadir? Kita bisa mulai?
Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi.
Waalaikumsalam, Pak Ali, apa kabar?
Halo, Prof. Ramadian, apa kabar? Alhamdulillah, baik. Monggo, Mbak Dwi, monggo.
Oke, Bapak Ibu, kita mulai ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk Bapak Ibu semua. Ini ketemu ya, baru 2 minggu kemarin. Nah, 2 minggu ini kita udah ketemu lagi di acara TikTok yang ke-34. Insya Allah, alhamdulillah, semoga nanti tiap 2 minggu sekali bisa rutin nih nanti acaranya. Nah, ini harapannya nanti di acara ini bukan hanya nanti kita dengar sharing dari para speaker yang hadir, tapi bagaimana nanti setelah acara ini ada tindak lanjut seperti kolaborasi riset dan lain-lain. Nah, hari ini agak bintang tamunya, speaker hari ini agak istimewa nih, dihadirkan Pak Doni. Nanti Pak Doni bisa kenalin sendiri. Nah, tapi sebelumnya kita dengar opening speech dulu nih. Jadi Pak Ketum setiap acara TikTok harus opening speech nih, terutama terkait tanggapan Prof juga nih terkait isu-isu yang kita angkat di acara TikTok kali setiap sesi gitu. Nah, silakan Pak Ketum, langsung aja.
Ya, terima kasih Mbak Dwi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi Bapak Ibu, terima kasih atas kehadirannya pada acara webinar kita kedua. Alhamdulillah, panjat puji syukur kepada Allah, akhirnya kita kembali bisa beraktivitas dan bertemu seperti sedia kala. Saya ucapkan appreciate kepada Prof. Doni, ini yang begitu konsisten membawa pertukaran keilmuan dan pengetahuan untuk kita semua, sehingga membangun jejaring network. Yang jejaring network ini akan sangat penting bagi pengembangan ilmu pengetahuan, teknologi bagi pihak kita di Indonesia sendiri maupun dalam perkembangan teknologi di skala global. Bapak Ibu, seperti yang disampaikan Mbak Dwi, hari ini temanya akan menarik ya Prof. Doni ya. Ini akan bicara tentang entrepreneurship. Jadi saya coba gambarkan mengenai isu mengapa entrepreneurship itu penting di Indonesia. Kalau seandainya kita melihat data dari BPS, Bapak Ibu, penduduk Indonesia ini jumlahnya sudah sekitar lebih dari 270 juta penduduk. Dari 270 juta penduduk itu diperkirakan sebanyak 144 juta ini dalam usia productive age. Jadi kalau bicara usia produktif, ini artinya dalam usia yang membutuhkan pekerjaan dan kemudian membutuhkan penghasilan untuk kehidupan. Nah, penduduk Indonesia yang bekerja, kalau menurut data ini sekitar 135 juta. 60% dari jumlah penduduk ini, 135 juta ini, sekitar 80 juta, ini bekerja di sektor informal. Jadi, kita lihat bagaimana sektor informal sendiri itu cukup signifikan pengaruhnya di dalam pembangunan Indonesia. Kalau menilik angka unemployment rate, itu terdapat sekitar hampir 6%. 5,8% jumlah penduduk ini masih dalam posisi tidak mendapatkan pekerjaan, sekitar 8 juta penduduk lebih. Nah, ini satu stage dalam kondisi total population. Ini keadaan demografi, bonus demografi dan total penduduk kita. Saya ambil kemudian data, misalnya kita bicara diskusi kalau bagaimana konteks pendidikan. Nah, data menunjukkan Bapak Ibu, itu tamatan lulusan SMA itu sekitar per tahunnya 1,8 juta. Tamatan lulusan universitas itu sekitar 1,7 juta. Artinya apa? Artinya pemerintah ini harus mampu menciptakan lapangan pekerjaan sekitar 3,6 juta per tahun. So it's not an easy task for the government. But yet, ini harus dilakukan agar menekan angka unemployment rate tadi yang saya diskusi sekitar 6%. Bapak Ibu, dalam hal ini, dalam konteks ini, oleh karenanya entrepreneurship ini memegang peranan paling penting, Bapak Ibu. Saya meyakini hal demikian. Karena kalau kita bahas tentang kondisi UMKM di Indonesia, jumlah UMKM di Indonesia ini sekitar 65 juta unit usaha. 65 juta unit usaha ini UMKM menyumbang sekitar 60% lebih terhadap PDB Indonesia. Very significant. Dan kemampuan UMKM kita menyerap tenaga kerja, Bapak Ibu, itu lebih dari 90% tenaga kerja kita terserap di UMKM. Dan lebih sekitar 90% jenis usaha di Indonesia itu adalah UMKM. Jadi UMKM ini menjadi dalam posisi ini saya melihat UMKM itu menjadi tulang punggung ekonomi kerakyatan di Indonesia. Kenapa saya sampaikan hal ini? Inilah mengapa kita memerlukan entrepreneur baru agar bisa menciptakan lapangan pekerjaan. Dan bagaimana tugas kita kemudian mampu berkontribusi, meningkatkan produktivitas, dan meningkatkan kualitas usaha UMKM. Ini jadi satu PR tidak hanya merupakan tugas pemerintah, tapi juga tugas kita sebagai pendidik, bagaimana menciptakan entrepreneur baru dari kampus. Kalau saya compare dengan kondisi misalnya, kondisi entrepreneurs Indonesia compared to Singapore or Malaysia, rasio entrepreneurs wirausaha Indonesia itu sekitar 3,4% dari total population. Kalau Malaysia, mereka sudah di level 5%. Kalau kita merujuk kepada Singapura, mereka bahkan sudah mencapai 9%. Kita ada populasi entrepreneurship, but still we required more. Nah, ini kenapa kemudian saya melihat, saya sangat apresiasi kepada Prof. Doni dan Miss Jenna. How then we can create the entrepreneurships in Indonesia? We increasing the new jobs for people, for the benefit of the society. And I see the campus plays a significant role in producing entrepreneurships, in producing, creating new jobs. Saya rasa saya nggak akan terlalu banyak, Mbak Dwi, nanti kalau saya namanya dosen, Bapak Ibu, mohon maaf kalau dosen ini disuruh ngomong nanti nggak berhenti-berhenti. Jadi karena ini sudah waktunya 5 menit, cuma disampaikan 5 minutes only dari Bu Dwi. Saya ucapkan sekali lagi, thank you very much, Pak Doni. I'm very happy to have you in ADI, dan my extend warmest regard to Jenna. Hi, Jenna. Very glad to see you. Very thankful for your presence, and I do hope we have a fruitful discussion ahead. So over to you, over to Prof. Doni. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Prof. Ale. Kita lanjut langsung saja. Pak Doni, silakan.
Oke. Waduh, thanks so much Pak Ali.
One thing, Prof. Doni.
Yes,
saya izin nggak bisa ikut sampai akhir. I need to catch up by the airport.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much for your remarks, sir. Yes. So Jenna, just quickly summarizing what about so Dr. Ali is the president of these associations, and then basically what he mentioned is that in the country right now there's a growing need for entrepreneurship. Okay, because the number of the unemployment rate is still high, and the country is also has been encouraging this entrepreneurship a lot. So in the campuses, for example, we have a lot of programs encouraging the students to do entrepreneurships. So ladies and gentlemen, Bapak-Bapak and Ibu-Ibu sekalian, I'm going to, it's my first time doing this in English. I mentioned to Jenna that it's very special night because after so many years doing this, this is the very first time we are going to be doing it in full English. Before we had some 2 or 3 professors, Indonesian professor living in the United States, and we talk in mix between Indonesian and English. But this time I have to do it to be in English full. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak-Bapak, Ibu sekalian, we invited Jenna. Jenna is my student actually in my class. She's taking some courses with me in the class. I met her, I forgot, 2 years ago, perhaps. We've been 2 years, right? And I was right, and then I was so surprised and so excited that not only that she's taking courses, but she's also studying. She's also doing business. Basically, developing companies, and on the side, beside the studying, she's also growing up this business. So that's why we've been talking about this talk for a while, and I'm glad that she has time tonight to discuss about the company. So what I want you to do slowly is to perhaps talk about what is this company about. And then I know that you still very young age, but you already have a lot of experience starting earlier from 14, when you were 14, basically, when you were working in a restaurant, and that somehow give you some click to start this business. So please, Jenna, maybe you can tell slowly about slowly because because this we are using English. So okay, thanks.
Sounds great. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Ali. I'm very happy to be here and share my story with you all. As Donnie did mention, I started working when I was 14 years old, and that was in the restaurant business. So I started as a bus girl who would carry dishes that were dirty into the kitchen and also run food to tables. I had worked my way up from that level to a waitress position and to a bartender position. And that was by the time I became 21. I'm 25 now. I started my business when I was 19. I was enrolled in a graphic design program at SUNY New Paltz, where Donnie does teach, and I now attend school for engineering. So back when I was doing graphic design at SUNY New Paltz, the college, I was very inspired by sustainability initiatives. My focuses of my art projects became environmental focused and eco-awareness focused. And I was starting to realize this as a young artist and as I was trying to develop my career. And after becoming very inspired by some of the greenhouse gas emission initiatives and waste reduction initiatives going on, I wanted to take a step back from my graphic design career and think about where I really wanted to put my energy in the future. So that's kind of what led me into creating my small business. My small business is a derivative of my graphic design and marketing business, which is called Concept Jenna. And I had 6 clients where I was a freelance designer. I would work on these projects every day and work hard to get more clients. And as I was creating my natural skincare products for my own self, I realized that I had the power to create a logo, to create a website. I had the tools due to my graphic design knowledge to market my own company. So I decided to create a product. More specifically, my first product was a healing balm, and it was really designed to be able to put anywhere on your body. And it was to really show people that products can be very efficient. It doesn't have to have any additives or unneeded chemicals to keep it preserved if it's sealed the right way or used accordingly. So I was really trying to spread this very large message from one little product. And that's where everything began. And now 5 years later, I'm graduating in December with an engineering degree and hope to take this company a step further in the future. So that's kind of a very short summary of everything along the way. Other influences involved yoga. I'm still a yoga teacher today. And I think that the mindfulness practice and my ability to share that with others so early in my life has given me a really great platform to be able to share the message through my products of sustainability as well.
So when was when you were working with when you were at as the graphic designer, when was that? That's when before doing the Balm, right?
Yeah, so I was doing graphic design work in school from 2015 until late 2016 and ended up leaving school and doing freelance graphic design for around 6 to 7 clients for 2 years after that. So until around 2018, 2019. And that included web design and logo design and poster design. So things that you learn very early on in a graphic design program.
Yes. And then you want me to share your presentation that you sent me?
Sure. So you're going to share it for me? Okay, got it.
What do you see here? It's your product, right?
Yeah, so just to give you all a visual of the products that I'm speaking about, the one on the screen now is the very first healing balm that I've ever created. And I was originally using it for myself. I was prone to migraines, and the oils involved in this product are very good for relieving migraines and tension, and they're great for hydrating the skin as well. So I was making this for myself, and then I finally brought it to market with the company of Soulseed. And the next slide shows a different scent or use of the same product. So this is a more floral lavender version. The stickers on the top of the product packaging We're under development for a while, and this is the final version of the graphic design label that I've created myself.
So you
They did
designed
not
this.
always
You designed the sticker, right?
Yeah, so they didn't always look this great. They were actually in a container that had a two-part lid that was metal, and the stickers were all handwritten, and that was back when I first started. But I've now developed the label to be printed, and the paper itself comes from responsibly forested trees. So the entire package of every Soul Seed product is sustainable and it's eco-minded.
Why do you come up with healing balm, for example?
So the reason it's called healing balm is because it doesn't only hydrate the skin and smell good through natural resources, essential oils. It actually has healing properties due to the essential oils that are in the balm itself. So I really wanted to bring this forward to people as a message of using products from nature, like essential oils, to heal ourselves rather than something that may be on the shelf that's really just made of chemicals.
Oh, okay. Then how
Yeah.
did you get so do you learn the recipe by yourself about
Yeah,
this
so the
balm?
recipe really was trial and error at first. The consistency was not what it is now. Now it's a very thick but creamy consistency, whereas before it was too high in coconut oil and it had more of a waxy feel and it would break as you tried to take it out of the jar. So it feels great to finally master this consistency, and it is something a lot of people really love about the product.
So you did a lot of
So-
trial and error by yourself. Amazing.
Yeah, so that kind of looked like little test jars, and I would have all the ingredients out. It looked like a laboratory.
Yes.
And I would be pouring small amounts of each ingredient in different increments into these test samples. Then I would put them to cure, and I'd come back to them later and they'd all be noted out, and I would, take notes of which I liked the best. And then, every time I would create product, I would do a smaller version of this testing. And as time went on and every batch I made, the product improved. And now I can make up to 1,000 jars in a batch, whereas I started with 24.
Wow, amazing. So 1,000 batch in how many, what is the time period for that? Is it in 1 day, 3 days?
So the last production day was a 6-hour production day, and it was 1,000 jars. It was around 1,200 jars, and they're 2 ounces. And that did not include labeling. The time didn't include labeling. So labeling came on a different day where I wasn't recording time because I was watching TV and stickering every jar. But
so you do that manually?
Yes, and one day I won't be.
So you did, that would be a nice senior design project. To do some
Funny you say that
mechanism.
because I thought about it, but it wasn't the label. I thought about designing the device that would actually the balm would come out of. So the dispenser.
The dispenser, yes.
Yeah.
So the dispenser right now is also still a manual, yeah.
But I did make improvements. It used to be a pour, but then I realized that I could make better use of gravity. I can make better use of the tools around me. And I invested in a stock pot, which has a valve. So,
oh, okay, that's smart.
Yeah. So then I'm just turning that valve and moving the jar as a one-man factory or one-woman factory.
One-woman factory. And then this is the lavender is not the only product, right? You have a different kind?
Many more products. So I did develop a lip balm.
This
after. Yep, and that's a very small container. It's about the size of a American quarter, a coin. And it's a thicker substance. It's more of a wax. And I went with using a vegan wax to appeal to everybody. And, sometimes people adhere from using a beeswax because it is not really supporting the culture of bees. And this became a very successful product. I originally betaed this product in a paper container because these tiny glass containers are pretty pricey. So lessons learned along the way. Once I realized it was going to be a successful sale, I invested in a more expensive container.
So the current container now is glass, right? This is glass container.
Yes, but they started off as paper.
Okay, and I remember you mentioned that this is you're adopting the circular model where your customers return the glass. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. So I do sell my products at many vendor fairs and farmers markets in the area, and I have returning customers.
Hold on. The farmer market basically is a market, people by people, right? So people selling, farmers selling their vegetables and fruits, and artists selling their arts and crafts, right? And then other business selling directly to people, basically, right? So that's what we call it, farmer market. Yes.
Yes, and the big term in this region is makers. So makers market. So now it's not
makers
just a
market.
farmer.
Okay.
Yeah, so now it's all kinds of artisans can come and sell their product.
That's nice. This is so where is that, in New York? Where in somewhere in?
Yeah, it's actually right where I live in Orange County, New York, and the town is called Warwick.
And that's every weekend or something like that when you have this makers market?
It's quarterly.
Quarterly, okay. Sorry, I cut you off on your glass thing. So continue with that. So how did you come up with the glass? Yeah.
Yeah, so I realized that the glass and metal top containers were really the most sustainable choice that I could go with at this point because of the circular program that I really am being involved in. And it's really great to see the customers give back and show me their appreciation towards these initiatives. During these markets, returning customers will bring back their empty washed jar and buy a brand new jar, but that empty wash jar will get sterilized by me and reused for product down the line.
So when they return to you, many of them return with it's clean, basically.
Yeah, they're very nice about it. They do clean the jar and they're very excited about it too. Some customers that don't even need more product will just return their jars. I do always promise to give a discount when they do return their jar. So this does give an incentive for people to do that, but I don't think it's always about the discount. Being that it's such a small discount, I think it's more about how great they feel when they give back to the initiative that I'm trying to spread to reduce waste and be more mindful of our consumerism.
And the uniqueness of this, right? Because in the market, would it be different? I mean, I'm not so familiar with this product, but what is the uniqueness of this product?
So there are other skincare small businesses that exist. What I find that Soulseed is unique is that the product is simple and it can appeal to many different people at the farmers market. It's not just, for more geared towards females where there's kind of like this flowery appeal or this perfume appeal. All the ingredients are really coming right back to the earth. They have healing properties. We can all relate to that concept. And I think that the thing that really does set the product apart from the rest is that the packaging really does show the message. I use minimal labels even, so there are stickers, but there are as little stickers as could be possible. So I really think the branding really does do a lot, but the product itself sells itself. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned about that the Soulseed logo that appears here is very important aspect of this business. You mentioned that took a long time for you to develop this. What kind of what is the message if you can tell from
Yeah, of
this?
course. So the logo design was a great experience. As a graphic designer, I was very excited to create a logo that was so close to heart for me. I've created many of them for many other people, but this one is definitely the most significant logo in my life. So it felt very special to be making it. So I took it very seriously, and I created art boards with different sketches of the image I was trying to portray and the message I was trying to portray. And there wasn't a definitive verbiage at first as to what I was trying to show. But as I drew and as I sketched, I realized that I just really wanted people to look at the logo and think about connecting to Earth. So as time went on, the logo developed from being just hands in soil lifting a root out of the ground to this. So it was a very complex design, and through many design processes, the design simplified and it became more of a stamp than a illustrative logo. And I think that makes it so impactful. People can see it from a distance. When I'm at a vendor fair, I have this logo on the top of my tent and on a sign, and people will be, 30 feet away and saying soul seed, and squinting at it and coming closer because they want to learn what this symbol means. And soul means sun. It's a Spanish derivative of sun. And seed is the American word for seed of a plant. And the idea is to be constantly growing throughout life in both directions. So as you're growing and living out your dreams and growing towards the sun, you're also rooting down into the earth, continuing to form your root in your ground and stay connected to where you came from.
So it is a very, very deep meaning, yeah. And it's very important for a business to have a very deep meaning of your product, as well as the logo that represent the company, right? Because it stands. I mean, if you want to make some kind of adjustment or modification, it will be very small. I don't see very, there's going to be room for that, but the massive message is there. I mean, it's fixed basically. It's very, because it's very strong. Message that you put in that logo is I see it's very, very strong. And that's how did you get inspired with that? How did you come up with it? That's a very strong, for a young person, that's very deep, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I owe it to the time that I got to spend studying yoga, studying mindfulness. And before making any life-changing and concrete decisions for my life, I was able to take time to dig deep and figure out what I wanted to make my life. And that time and that teaching, those ancient yogic practices really did open up a lot inside of me, even as a young person. I was around a lot of older people as I went through these experiences, and I opened myself up to those opportunities to hear other people's stories. And I really think that as long as you're going about your day and you're taking everything in and hearing what the people around you are saying, even as a young person, you can have these very deep philosophical thoughts about humanity, about our world, about our environment.
Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting that so far up to this minute, when we discuss about this, we didn't talk about money at all. It's amazing, right? You think, I mean, we're supposed to maybe normally people would say, oh, this product would sell, and then how much money we're gonna get, and how much money or profit is influencing this decision, and you're wanting to make this product, and then your philosophy and this and that. How much? It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be a lot.
Yeah, I guess I could say that you caught me on that one, or you figured me out, because That is true. I've had to be advised many times throughout the beginning of my business experience because I was pricing my products very low and I wasn't aware of the way to price things in a market. And I forgive myself completely for that. And the money I've lost to pricing things at a lower price has more than made up for itself, because as much as that could be a risk, because you're kind of devaluing the product, it can also be really good for somebody who's not quite sure on where this will go and what this industry looks like. And the fact that I was able to start small and humble and underprice things a bit and maybe not buy the best packaging so I could sell things cheaper, I was able to get the name out there, and people in the community were impressed by the sheer fact that a young face was out there and trying to sell something they were making. And then I was able to make improvements from there and learn and study. And I've used YouTube as a huge source for me as far as learning about how to price things as an entrepreneur and what skincare products should be priced at and the types of ingredients I'm using and how much they should be marked up. So there is a craft involved, and that becomes tricky because when you're marking up an art piece or a craft, technically you do have the right to mark it up higher than what the traditional markup value is. But I wasn't comfortable with that for a long time because maybe I was too humble to call it an art for a while, not too sure. But as I saw its value and I saw how people were enjoying it, the price did end up increasing in my product, and it did in a natural fashion and in a way that I didn't lose any customers that I had from day one, and everybody was comfortable with the growth, which was really great.
I mean, you value your customers a lot, and then you also the way you manufacture this is handmade, right? I mean, it's very minimal in the mass production, so it's kind of art actually. It's more like it's very close to art than the mass produced products in the shelf, in a big store, stuff like that. It's different. So the value is, like what you said, is tricky to value that, to value the price. And then
yeah, and another tricky part that comes with that is thinking about the future of the product as well. Because if I were to always stick to the handmade method and I was loyal to that, and I said for the rest of eternity of Soul Seed, I'm going to do handmade batches. This is the niche of that product, and I'm going to raise the price because I can guarantee it's made in 12 jar batches, and it's a very fine process, and I make sure it's the utmost quality of that one single jar. Then the price can be increased. But I don't see that being this company's future. I see how fast people go through these products and love it and want more. And I see how through manufacturing the right way, these products could be made with a machine with the same quality. So as I go through selling and pricing products in the market, I actually keep that idea in mind because I don't want to really price it more towards the handmade side if in the future it will experience a large drop due to manufacturing. So the price that these products are actually sold at, some people may call it a steal, or they may call me silly for pricing them so low. But in my eyes, this is the foundation of a company that has a long journey ahead.
Now, in terms of making it big, do you have in your mind of thinking about employing people or have some partner or something like that? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I actually drafted my first job posting during the summer.
Okay.
And that was surreal. And I sent it to a couple close friends who have watched this business grow and have always said, when you need a hand, please let me know. And I didn't get too serious about any of the feelers I was putting out due to the fact that, with the seasons changing and coming back into school, I have to switch gears a bit. But I am thinking about the fact that within the next couple months and starting the new year, it will be a great idea to further consider bringing somebody on and not having to handle all of the weight of the marketing, the production, the in-person sales, keeping stock in stores, expanding my merchandisers, which are the stores that sell my product. So there's a lot of moving parts that for one person, it starts to become to a point where, is this beneficial to just be a one-man show is the term, but one woman show, or should I, realize that it's time to grow? Yeah.
Now, quickly on the as I mentioned about these questions on the influence or help from the government. How much do you need from local or I think local government in developing your product? Is it important or is not so important? What do you think?
So the local development of my product, as local as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the market helps you, right? So the establishment of the market and that allowing you to do this is very, very, very important. I mean, we don't have that. I think in my country we do have a market basically, but it's just regular market. It's not something special like this, So is there anything else that you can think of? Maybe some.
Yeah, I guess just this general region is really great with the amount of farmers markets and vendor events that really do happen, these maker markets. They do create a very great platform for anybody in the small business realm to have a face in person if they don't have a storefront. For example, I do not have a storefront. So those days, those weekends where I'm sitting behind a table becomes my storefront. And it's been a really great temporary way to have a face in the community. And if these organizations didn't put together these events, then I would not have the opportunity to be in person with customers, to receive those empty jars and be a part of the community. I'm trying to think.
The website is also your front, right? But the website is accepting.
Yeah, and the website, which I shared with you earlier today, the website did so well over the COVID-19 pandemic.
Correct,
and
yeah.
Seeing those sales spike just due to the sheer fact of people staying home and being on their computers and phones was great. But I also, I am an opportunist, and I really did create a lot more of my social media marketing material for that time period, more than any other time that I've done. And it was because the analytics of the marketing were showing that every post was still being seen, that people were sitting there and just viewing these announcements I was making. So why not do another 25% off sale or throw another deal on the website? Because if people want the product and they're finally seeing the advertisements and they're sitting home, then they're naturally going to order it. So that was a proven strategy during COVID-19. And the marketing does work in our normal society as it functions without the pandemic. But people do work, so you have to be mindful of when you're posting and when you're trying to reach people. And learning the algorithms of these platforms has been a whole nother journey in its own self. So wow. I'm getting very tired of that part. To be honest, I was very good at it. I was doing it for 3 different restaurants, my own business, and my graphic design at the same time. And I loved it. I was taking videos all the time and posting, but I think I reached
what was the platform again? Yeah, what was the platform again? Sorry.
Mainly Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. Okay, so those are quite powerful in for your business, yeah.
Yes, very.
Hmm. So you have some more product. You have so many product. Basically, you have this product of the therapeutic recipe, the healing balm, and then this another one bug repellent. Another one sunblock is also your product, right?
Yes,
And
SPF 30, it works
essential
great.
oil. But I know you, this is not t-shirt. This is a hoodie, right? And
Yes, sweatshirt, hoodie.
this is the t-shirt and more t-shirt. And this is I like this one, the body and face mask, right? This is
Yeah, so this one's great.
I mean,
It
there's so many
actually,
products. I really don't know how you manage this.
so this was a journey. This one was the mask was my first product with powder in it because it
Uh-huh,
has charcoal, activated
uh-huh.
charcoal. It's a very dark, fine powder. And I did it in the house and I poured the powder into the mix and I had bought a industrial sized drill bit to spin and mix a huge vat of it. And when I poured the powder in, it went to fine little particles everywhere in the house. And through learning experiences, I mean,
Learning experience, yes, is important.
yeah, so now this product has to be very carefully made in the next batch. And what's very neat about this one is that it has an ancient bentonite clay. So this is a very ancient, I think it's a Mayan practice where the clay dries on the face and through the drying, it will actually shrink and pull and extract things from the pores.
Mhm.
And combined with the charcoal, it's a really great cleanse for the face. I was very excited to also make this product because it was the first product with water involved too.
Right. And deodorant, and this is your video about your website and products, basically, right? Or also this small little what do you call it? It's some kind of that you hang on your neck or
Oh,
something.
so the jewelry, actually, I've been out
Jewelry,
of
yeah.
stock for the last year, but those are very successful. I've been doing those for 4 years, not counting this year. And it's an epoxy resin, preserved
Mhm.
plant.
Mm.
And people really like those. And the reason I'm, doing that product with Soul Seed is to further the message of wearing nature and supporting nature. And I always tell people how everything is handpicked by me. I go out hiking and I collect all the little flowers in a book, and then I go home and I put them into jewelry and create them.
Now, regarding the online sale and online marketing, how strong is this nowadays? I mean, is it people still well in your case because I think I think the online is more right in your case, but is it how much power is this now for you the using online?
So the online website is extremely powerful because I can be anywhere and the website link itself is so simple, which I highly recommend that everyone does that. Because
Mhm.
being able to just verbally tell somebody a website and then be able to remember it when they go home later, they'll
Mhm.
think of it and hop on and see a couple of the products and be able to purchase it so easily. So I decided to create the website as soulseed.life, which it's in the flyer, I think, for this talk. And reason being, soulseed.life is because it's a lifestyle brand. Inevitably, one day it won't just be skincare. And that message will continue in the website domain. And so it will help people remember the domain itself.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
So I know you have to leave at 10 and we are trying to wrap up. So let's try to entertain some questions here. There is one questions about videos on how to make this product. I know that I don't think you made the you recorded by yourself any when you were working on this, but Is it available in some YouTubes when people making this kind of balm or skincare?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what I did is I didn't reinvent the wheel, but I do have my own recipes that I'm not willing to share. But this method of creating a salve or a balm is very old. This method has been around for a long time. And the
Right.
main ingredient in the yellow healing balms is a shea butter. So a raw African shea butter. I resourced directly from Ghana, Africa, and that
Really?
ends up being yes, that ends up being the backbone in many of my ingredients.
So you import the thing from Ghana?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Because you have to be careful with some of the apothecary products. Some of them can come from sources that are not sustainable, whether it's for the environment or just ethics. So I do support a group of sisters. I believe it's Baruku Shea Butter, and they're in Ghana, and they sell a raw African shea butter, and they're trying to promote the ethical practice of selling that product to the United States and other countries.
Quickly on the regulations. I know you mentioned to me, but can you tell us? Because this is a skincare, right? So something that you have to get approved by. I mean, we know that it's FDA, right? The what is FDA again? Federal Drug and
The Food and Drug
Food and
Administration.
Drug Administration,
So,
right?
yeah, so in America, the Food and Drug Administration does not require the handmade cosmetic sale to be regulated.
Oh,
As
okay.
long as the ingredients themselves are already regulated. So that is the
Okay.
case with everything I
That makes
use.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so one day I do want to get my own stamp though, because I think that that will help the credibility of the product in the long run.
Okay. And then also trademarking. I know you mentioned about it. It's very important of trademarking. Your logo is trademark, right? And that's very, very important piece on this. And then what else besides this logo that you trademark?
Yeah, so I actually did have a little bit of a scare where somebody I was working kind of closely next to seemed to be latching on to a lot of Soulseed's momentum. And I didn't really like the look of what was going on. So that instilled the kind of fear in me to protect the logo. And I was very happy to start the process of doing so. I did a lot of research as to how to draft a trademark application myself. And similarly to how I accomplished my business certification myself, I went into doing the trademark myself as well. And it was a pretty penny, or a lot of money. But I did, after 8 months, the trademark was approved for 3 categories. So there's different categories of what your trademark can cover you in. And to start, I chose 3 because it was expensive.
Okay.
And
Yes.
I chose for the markets that Soulseed's currently in. So the cosmetics, jewelry, and then I even do make herbal teas. So I chose those 3 markets.
There's one very important question. I know who is the one who asked. And the question, how do you balance? How do you balance between company, school, and personal life? What is the most important character to be a successful? I think that's a very, very important question.
Yeah,
So
I
go
think
ahead.
that it is definitely an important question. In the past, I've struggled with balancing everything, but I really do always come back to realizing that this is what I wanted to do, and I knew it would be hard, and I knew there would be moments of self-reflection and moments to realize where I need improvement. And there's also a lot of self-negotiation. And when I mean self-negotiation, I mean by, like, if I do have something else going on, that I do have to have forgiveness for myself to let something go. So I was mentioning this to you earlier, Donnie. I haven't really been able to do a lot of soul seed work in this past year. And as much as that's made me sad, I have to realize that, you know, sometimes these sacrifices are worth making, and it's better to have everything and work on certain things when you can, than to kind of just throw in the ropes and say that, you know, it's too much.
Correct.
So I think that patience is definitely key. And then forgiveness for yourself if you feel like you've come short in any of your work.
Right. Sometimes you have to say no to something that you might be wanting to pursue, and then yeah, and then in your language is to forgive yourself not for doing that. It's very difficult sometimes, you know, because sometimes opportunities comes in the time that it may not become again later, and that's difficult, right? In that situations, when the opportunities to do business is coming, there's a lot of market going on, and oh my goodness, you want to jump in, and then, but on the other hand, you have schools that you have to get it done. That happens to many people. Like when I was in college, the same thing. My professor reminded me to, you got to stop doing this, you know, working with some projects and campus, and I had to quickly graduate because the time was, you know, was important at that time for me to graduate. So thank you again. And for everyone who, we still have few minutes, and if anyone would like to ask Jenna with her experience, please raise your hand. And I'm checking if there is some other. So we have Dr. Wang actually is coming to the Zoom meeting. Dr. Wang would like to say something. Okay, no. Okay, maybe next time. So if not, so I would like to. Okay, so very last question, Jenna. What would you like to give some kind of encouraging message to students in my country about entrepreneurship? What would you like to tell, or yes, something like that, basically?
Yeah, of course. My message to you all is, if you have a dream, if you have an idea, to develop it. Don't just go for it, but develop it within yourself and think about why it means something to you, and think about the message that you do have to share with the world, and take the time to let yourself really develop that message, and then use your resources around you to start sharing that message and see how people take up on some of your ideas and thoughts. And if momentum gains from any of those conversations, then go for it. If you do have an entrepreneurial idea, try and find mentors to support you. Surround yourself in friends and family that will help you with your idea. And, you know, there may be obstacles along the way, but those obstacles really do turn into great learning experiences. So I always encourage people to go for it. And some of the best things that we do have in this world are from one individual's crazy idea. So really do live those ideas out.
Craziness is important, yeah.
Yeah.
So happy to again. Thank you so much for being here, and so happy to hear your. Finally, we've been talking about this to have it wrap up. Now it's in YouTube, so hopefully people can learn from here, from your experience. Very, you know, great experience to share, and hopefully people get inspired by this. Especially young people in my country. I mean, a lot of teachers following this YouTube, and I'm following this talk. So and each of them is maybe carrying 100 students. So we have like 200 people in the audience now. So like 2,000 people are getting impacted by this and more, hopefully. Okay. So thanks.
Great.
It is. So thanks again, and it's a good practice for me actually to host this in English. So but we time is have. Yes. Any questions?
excuse me. We are from the Tembilahan Islamic University of Indragiri, and we have one question for Miss Jena about the product. The product is did she use one from the virgin coconut oil as a base of material to use and make one product from salt seed. That's right.
Yes,
yeah, it's a couple different ingredients, but very minimal ingredients.
Yeah, I mean, virgin coconut oil from our country is our district regency in Kabupaten Indragiri is the grade of product from the virgin coconut oil from coconut, the tree in here.
Okay. So, Pak Agus, Jena, she mentioned that in his region, the coconut oil or the coconut is the prince of the product in the country in the region. Basically, it's a lot of coconut. I think Pak Agus is going to invite you there to teach them how to make this. How to make
That would be great.
Yeah, Pak Agus, maybe you want her to teach your people or something. We can have a different session for that if you like to do that. Something like that. Is that Pak Agus yet what you want to know?
Yeah, this is I follow some student from Universitas Islam Indragiri. We see for following this discussion or seminar today, and going to grow up their to study in here in the class is studying now.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, we mean the material of virgin coconut oil is many inquiry from any country in the world, because the virgin coconut oil is the good main material for massage oil or some
massage.
Yeah, massage and some product another to use in for lotion. That's right. Okay.
Correct. That's correct. Okay.
Does the salt seed product is used to the virgin coconut oil is base of material in massage product. That's right. For the healing product.
Yeah, it's a great base, and I did realize that as I was formulating my product, I was using more coconut oil than was needed at first, because a little bit of coconut oil really does go a long way, and that's the same with shea butter. But the consistencies, being able to master mixing those two together to create the consistency really did take time and trial and error, like I mentioned earlier.
So that's the key, Bagus. So I think if your region has a lot of coconut oil, I think your school can focus on that, how to make different blend, because it does takes time and takes a lot of testing and to be a good product.
There's different versions of coconut oil, because I do use at room temperature, I use a liquid coconut oil and I use a solid for different products. Some products I actually use both, and creating the balance of liquid coconut oil to solid at room temperature does take a lot of experience and craft.
Correct.
Oh, so okay, thank you, Miss Jena, for the answer, and Dr. Rahmadian. Nice to see you in this seminary, and sometime we meet again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bagus. Okay, just one quick question. There is one question on the woman. Is it difficult for you? Mhm.
You know what? This is a great question. My answer may be a little bit shorter than one may expect. In America, in the region of New York where I'm living, there is a very large push towards women in business, and that happened
Mhm.
within the last 3 years. So the first 2 years of having my company, a lot of men were very resistant towards approaching me and approaching my products. They didn't realize that what I was selling was for everybody. Just because it was a woman face behind a booth of products that looked like cosmetics. That has changed drastically. These men walk straight up to me now. I have so many construction men that use the products for their dry cracking hands, and they
Oh,
respect the
yes.
brand. So it has changed a lot, and I think that the men have taken a lot of awareness of this Women in Business initiative. But there are some times where I tend to just laugh things off like this, but I will be working behind my booth, or I'll be carrying things, and I will notice like a little bit of a label towards maybe not being able to carry something that looks heavy, or being pointed out if I am carrying everything. And I do tend to take things as just people trying to help, so I don't like to look at it from that perspective. But it does make me wonder that if I was a man with a business my own and carrying all this material to go sell, if anybody would even blink an eye if I had a lot of material on my back.
Correct.
So just little things like that. Other than that one small thing, if anything, there's initiatives to help women in America, and
Yes.
I could even become a
It's very important.
certified woman-owned business if I'd like, and I would actually receive like tax deductions on that membership. So not something I fully did officially yet, but we'll look into in the future, and it is nice to be supported. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, because there is a specific special initiative by, I forgot, but the government give a special initiative for women in business. I remember that when I was in Pittsburgh, I realized that too. Yeah, so I guess that's federal sponsorship or initiatives, and that's, I think, is very important. So the government, either local or national government, should promote not only women, but in many different ways, women and maybe young people or something, some initiatives to encourage people for doing entrepreneurships. Okay. So again, thank you. Enjoy your weekend and and with in the cabin, especially in this nice area. And then I'll see you in the campus. So Mbak Dwi, I can so the time is up now, so I can give the time back to you.
Thank you all so much. It's been a great opportunity, and please check out the website on the flyer and send me an email if you feel, and I'll always reply. So the email's on the website, and good luck to you. And thank you again, Donnie, for inviting me.
Thanks, Jen, and thanks for your time. Thanks for your time so much.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Mbak Joni, Prof. Doni, nih menarik sekali nih diskusi kita kali ini. Nanti mungkin ke depan juga speakernya bukan hanya diaspora nih, tapi rekan-rekan atau mahasiswa atau student dari para rekan diaspora juga menarik juga untuk sharing di sesi kita kali ini atau di sesi selanjutnya gitu ya. Thank you, para Wadian. Ini karena Ibu, waktu Amerika sudah masuk tengah malam nih, jadi diskusi kita sampai di sini, tapi tidak untuk TikTok-nya, karena nanti akan ada sesi-sesi selanjutnya. Begitu ya, Pak Doni ya?
Insya Allah nanti saya info lagi kapannya. Moga-moga bisa, saya minggu depan kan ada acara Indonesia Fokus nih, jadi saya untuk ngurusin Indonesia Fokus dulu. Insya Allah minggu depannya bisa, insya Allah. Saya coba. Oke. Saya kabari.
Fokus jadinya tetap offline?
Ada online-nya sebenarnya.
Online.
Ada online-nya sih.
Banyak yang dari
berapa sepertinya dari Adi ada juga yang datang. Banyak yang bukan bimbang ragu-ragu, tapi antara datang dan enggak gitu. Jadi mereka udah book tapi terus nggak jadi, ada ini dan itu. Jadi ya agak rancu sebenarnya. Tapi insya Allah lah ada. Jadi karena waktunya tetap kita kan pakai waktu ini ya, waktu Amerika, jadi agak repot sebenarnya. Jadi jam 3 pagi misalnya di Indonesianya nggak nyaman, nggak seperti dulu kemarin waktu COVID kita pakai jam Indonesia, ini pakai jam di sini. Jadi ya mohon maaf, nanti moga-moga kedepannya bisa kita rencanakan lagi yang lebih pas gitu, nanya gimana.
Mungkin kalau tahun depan Indonesian Focus bisa offline ya, totally offline, jadi nggak ada online-nya gitu. Jadi bisa rame-rame.
Ya insya Allah kalau kemarin kan ada kejadian, ada kapan hari pernah ada sempat kan nggak boleh, ada larangan ke luar negeri. Jadi kan ada beberapa yang sempat tertunda itu untuk ngurusin visanya. Tapi kemudian kebuka lagi, nah sekarang udah boleh lagi. Jadi ada semacam ini kerancuan di situ. Tapi alhamdulillah sih banyak juga yang datang dari lokal Amerika sendiri sih.
Iya, Pak Doni, semoga sukses acara Indonesian Focusnya. Nanti live-nya di-share ya, biar kita bisa nonton juga.
Oke, nanti saya coba kalau ada yang, karena nanti ada paralel, jadi nggak tahu nanti. Nanti saya coba bikin acaranya.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Doni, Pak Rahmadian Wulandana, atau dipanggil Pak Doni. Thank you, Bapak Ibu. Jangan lupa pastikan nanti untuk link absennya diisi, karena nanti akan ada e-sertifikat. Dan jika Bapak Ibu ada topik-topik menarik terkait diskusi kita dengan rekan-rekan diaspora, nanti jangan segan-segan untuk menghubungi Asosiasi Dosen Indonesia. Thank you Bapak Ibu semua sudah hadir di sesi TikTok pagi ini yang ke-34. Insya Allah nanti yang ke-35 berarti 2 minggu lagi, kurang lebih 34, nanti ke-35 insya Allah 2 minggu lagi. 2 minggu lagi ya Prof ya?
24, 34, 24.
Iya 34, nanti
24.
Oh ini 24 Asosiasi Dosen Indonesia Prof.
Oh gitu.
Ini kita ulang tahun Asosiasi Dosen Indonesia tahun ini ke-24, insya Allah tahun ini.
Oh maksudnya itu, oke.
Kalau acara kita kan ini yang ke-34, nanti 2 minggu lagi ke-34 maksudnya.
Oke.
Ya.
Saya udah nggak bisa ngitung.
Oh, ya. Thank you Pak Doni, sehat-sehat di Amerika rekan-rekan. Thank you speaker kita hari ini. Mbak Jenny, ya thank you. Bapak Ibu semua, terima kasih sudah hadir di acara kita. Insya Allah ketemu 2 minggu atau 3 minggu lagi. Sekian dari saya, mohon maaf atas segala kekurangan. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih untuk Profesor Dani. Halo, maaf Bu Moderator, sertifikat yang 34-nya saya atas nama Ingan Nukur belum ada ya?
Iya, saya juga atas nama Ahmad Ali belum ada.
Ke Mbak Siska, boleh. Nanti di info aja ke Mbak Siska, harusnya udah ya Bapak Ibu ya. Karena itu kan pesertanya hampir 400.
Dengan 34 belum ada.
Belum ada di Gmail saya, Bu.
Boleh, sebentar. Saya info nomornya Mbak layanan Adi ya.
Oke.
Di aja nomor layanan center Adi Mbak Siska, biar nanti Bapak Ibu hari Senin di cross check ulang terkait sertifikat yang belum dapat, atau misal Bapak Ibu belum ngisi absen mungkin ya. Biasanya kalau
udah ngisi absen.
Saya isi.
Absen ya.
Masih ada buktinya pun.
Oh iya. Ini saya
belum. Mbak. Kalau bisa sertifikatnya bisa dikirim ke WhatsApp nggak? Ke WA
Iya,
saja?
boleh Bu, boleh. Ke situ aja lebih.
WA saja.
Boleh Bapak Ibu sudah.
Biasanya dikirim ke WA ya Mbak ya?
Ya, udah Bapak Ibu nanti diingatin saja yang belum terima sertifikat ke pusat layanan Adi, nanti akan di follow up ya Bapak Ibu, ini karena acaranya agak banyak, jadinya mungkin keselip mengirimkan.
Siap.
Ya.
Oke, terima kasih lagi Bu.
Terima kasih Bapak Ibu. Jangan lupa pastikan nonton live YouTube kita. YouTube-nya mungkin dimatiin ya Mbak Siska karena udah selesai.